That's all she wrote, folks. It's been real, and I appreciate everyone who supported me. Baron Corbin's time in the WWE sun has come to an end, and there'll be a lot of smarks who are probably gonna shrug and say, so what? This is actually a terrible sign for WWE and the Paul LaNose era. Baron Corbin had all the tools and traits of a guy who could have shot to the top of the card, or at least been somewhat near it. Tall, funny, distinctive look, prepared to commit himself to any silly angle thrown his way, great moveset, and perhaps, most importantly of all, legit athlete pedigree. While he never quite became Bruce Matthews during his time as an offensive guard in American football, he still spent some time in the NFL, one of the world's hardest and most prestigious sports leagues. He's also a two-time Golden Gloves regional champ. And this next one right here, this next one is the most important of all. He's a gold medalist in the Jiu-Jitsu World League. That's right! While CM Punk and Jon Moxley, two clowns who epitomize both fake tough guy and being overrated, had their flabby bottoms handed to them in low-level grappling tourneys, Big Baron's out here tapping out fools and winning medals. Baron Corbin literally had everything one should look for in a top talent, bar, of course, muscle definition. Wow! Excess skin post-weight loss is no laughing matter. Now look, turn back your clocks to 2017, and it appeared that Baron Corbin was well on his way to rising up the card. Bar a truly dismal pre-show loss to Dean Ambrose at that year's WrestleMania, the metalhead was consistently presented as a hard-hitting tough guy. He had a distinctive promo style, he kinda looked like a hipster goth Undertaker, he moved incredibly well for such a big tall guy as well. Money in the bank. Smarks are crying into their fruit juice sippy cups that he wins the briefcase rather than scaredy cat Shinsuke Nakamura, who seemingly couldn't even handle the basic art of climbing a ladder. And then, and this part is important, Baron Corbin had the audacity to speak up and give his take on concussions during a medical lecture for the WWE roster. Allegedly. You see, you can never be too sure with these wrestling news rags. But anyway, that apparently led to him being utterly buried by John Cena, that part we can't argue with, and firmly returned to the midcard. Baron Corbin never really got a main event level push again, beyond being the scapegoat for Raw absolutely sucking in 2018 and 2019. But what he did do, time and again, was 100% commit himself to whatever ludicrous angle WWE gave him, bringing life to truly idiotic storylines and character arcs, and actually managing to generate a little heat with them, and sometimes make his babyface opponents look good at his own expense. Kurt Angle is the obvious and very sad exception there. But the tragic fact is he was way past his prime, and had the TNA stank on him the second time around in WWE. Bar tagging with Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 34, Angle was frequently jabronified during his disappointing retirement run. Much like The Miz, Baron Corbin didn't mind being the butt of the joke if it meant getting workers and angles over, and wrestling always benefits from having a few consummate professionals like this on hand. The most frustrating part of all with his career in the WWE actually comes back in 2021, when he loses his silly king gimmick, that was the right call, and is reborn as a broke hobo. Baron Corbin's descent into disheveled, penniless misery was hilarious. In storyline, it was well deserved after years of being an absolute jerk. The funniest part of all, though, was, after a few weeks, the laughs were starting to turn into fan support. WWE had essentially stumbled backwards into a possible babyface sensation. He could have gone on a long redemption arc and maybe even become a fan favorite over a long-term build, but no. He won money at gambling or something, and then became a happy-go-lucky spaz instead. And this was a recurring issue with the final years of Vince McMahon's run on top. Stop-start pushes and stop-start angles. For example, one day, Dolph Ziggler would be getting the big push, fans would be into it. The next day, he's jobbing to Brodus Clay. Bray Wyatt, his whole career is pretty much this. Every time he got over, cut off at the knee. A whole generation of decent talent was largely sabotaged by this inconsistent, fickle nonsense. And Baron Corbin was no different. His final years saw him stop and start some more with minor gimmick updates and feuds before showing off his rock-solid work rate during a surprise run in NXT. Now, though, instead of being given something to do back on the main roster, Corbin's had to clear off to make room for vanilla midgets he's better than in every conceivable way, such as Pete Dunce and former tag team champions GAY. He's just the latest in a long line of sillier, more colourful characters and performers Triple Nose has given the axe since taking over. Vince McMahon projects, who get either buried or worse still, straight up fired. Eric Bugenhagen, Rick Boogs, great look, great charisma. Yeah, not very good in the ring, but a lot of personality and character. A guy who could connect with audiences. Fired. Austin Theory, prodigious, all-round talent, basically flawless. Buried. Omos, limited, but distinctive giant in a time where big men are becoming increasingly rare. Never on TV. Elias, brilliant comedy guy and easy mid-card hit as both a heel and a face. Fired. Riddick Moss, great athlete, jacked, full of potential. Fired. Bobby Lashley, jacked powerhouse, main eventer, legit athlete and shoot fighter credibility. Dropped. And here's the most worrying one of all, one that's really only starting to bubble to the surface right now. Roman Reigns. The biggest WWE star since John Cena is on the cusp of being a jabroni since coming back at SummerSlam with a watered-down gimmick and now a random pinfall loss to Solo Sikoa. In a tag match that only went 16 minutes. This is the man who survived 5 F5s from Brock Lesnar, but hey, whatever. All of these guys, to some level or other, had what it took to get over and be a little larger than life with the right push, with some of those guys being true main event talent, or at least main event potential. All dismantled in honor of 5'10" at the absolute max on a good day, indie guys who will never set the mainstream wrestling world on fire. Never. And the thing with these vanilla midgets is they do not boost the business. In fact, 2 guys who weren't even vanilla failed to boost the business. Let's turn back the clocks 20 years. WrestleMania 20. The show ends with 2 of the most gifted technical wrestlers of all time, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, celebrating together as world champions with Benoit's wife and youngest son in the ring. Truly chilling image with how everything ended. But let's just focus on wrestling at the time. Let's not make this too dark, you know. Kevin Nash, in the years since, has said this moment at WrestleMania 20 severely damaged the business. And not just because of what happened with them in 2005 and 2007, okay? No. At the time as well. Because these guys, although super talented, simply weren't the kind of larger-than-life stars fans gravitate towards in the main event in wrestling. Particularly when it comes to American wrestling. He was absolutely right. Both of those guys were box office flops at the time. The next year, however, John Cena and Dave Bautista fared considerably better in those world champ roles and actually remained as over main eventers for the rest of their respective runs in the WWE. Coincidence? I think not. In WWE, a lot of people want big, over-the-top characters from top to bottom on the card. This is one of the many reasons the Attitude Era was so wildly popular. Could Baron Corbin have actually been a worthwhile world champ? Maybe. Maybe not. If nothing else, he was a consistently colourful, distinctive guy who could be trusted in all standard areas of professional wrestling. Now look, he's 40, he's rich, he's got a family. Maybe he never wrestles again. Maybe he goes to AEW, which is fast becoming TNA 2 Wrestling Boogaloo with all the former WWE talent taking over. Maybe he hits up the indies. If he goes to any of these places, with his mix of old-fashioned heel character work, explosive offense, and funny jerk microphone stuff, he could be a hit. He could be a useful veteran heel for baby faces to lock horns with. If not, fair enough. But it's a shame, as this guy's ultimately going to go down as wasted potential, with his most memorable accolade being retiring Kurt Angle in a depressing 6-minute match that did nothing for either man.